Hello everyone and welcome back to my class. I'm Shivani, your English teacher. Students, today's video is quite special because today I will be not teaching you any boring topic. Today we will only discuss the previous chapters. Today I will only tell you the short summary of all the chapters that we have already completed. Students, I hope you enjoyed enough during this summer vacation, but at the same time, I hope you are taking your studies very seriously. The school will be conducting periodic test in July itself, so we do not have any time to waste now. So before moving further, we will only quickly revise all the chapters. So, the very first chapter that we are going to discuss today is The Surprise Party by J.R.R. Tolkien. So, let's start today's video. The story begins by describing the hole in the ground beneath a hill in which a particular hobbit lives. The hole is highly comfortable. It has bedrooms, bathrooms, kitchens, and dining rooms for entertaining the hobbit's many visitors. The hobbit's name is Baggins, and his full name was Bilbo Baggins, and he belongs to a well-to-do family of hobbits that never gets involved in adventure. The narrator notes that the surprise party is the story of how Bilbo Baggins became involved in an adventure. The narrator turns to describing hobbits. Now the question arises, what is hobbit? And the answer is here. Hobbits are small creatures that resemble dwarfs, except without beards. They have no magical powers. One morning, Bilbo is sitting outside when Gandalf passes by. Gandalf? Who is Gandalf? Gandalf is an old man who wears a grey cloak and carries a staff. Now what is a staff? Staff is a magical stick. Magic stick. Is famous among hobbits. Bilbo doesn't recognize Gandalf but greets him. Gandalf tells Bilbo that he is looking for someone to accompany him on an adventure. Bilbo refuses, saying that hobbits don't take part in adventures, and pretends to ignore Gandalf. Gandalf then introduces himself to Bilbo, who is impressed, having heard stories about how Gandalf would bring quite young people on adventures. Bilbo invites Gandalf to tea tomorrow and immediately goes inside his home, thinking that Gandalf is a powerful wizard and that he will have to be very careful of Gandalf. The next day, Bilbo has almost forgotten about tea, so he is surprised to hear a knock at his door and find a dwarf who introduces himself as Dolin, standing outside his home. Bilbo is flustered but invites Dolin inside for tea. A little later, he hears another knock on the door and finds another dwarf, Balin, Dolin's brother. Again, he invites Balin in. In his manner, he lets a total of 13 dwarfs into his house. And the name of those 13 dwarfs were Dolin, Balin, Fili, Kili, Dori, Ori, Owen, Gloin, Bifur, Bofur, Bombur, who's very fat, and Thorin. Okay, Thorin was the most proudy dwarf. Gandalf arrives along with the last 4 dwarfs, all 13 dwarfs except for Thorin, who is the most proudy dwarf. The dwarfs play music and sing of the dwarfs of the past who lived in the great hall beneath the mountain where they mined gold and jewels. As Bilbo hears this song, he is momentarily filled with a desire to go on adventure, but this desire disappears soon. After the music ends and he is again the sober Bilbo. So students, I hope you remember this story. In this story, we read about Hobbit, that is Bilbo Baggins, who was a very plain and sober creature. He doesn't like any sort of adventures, but when he when he saw those 13 dwarfs singing, those 13 dwarfs were singing about the adventures that they had with dragons, with the mines, with golds. For a moment, Bilbo also became an adventurous person, but after some time, he again became the same Bilbo Baggins because this was his nature. Okay, so this was the first story. Now, let's move further and see the second lesson. The second chapter is Hide and Seek poem by John Werner Scannell. Hide and Seek by Werner Scannell is a free verse poem that explores the major theme of irresponsibility or negligence. Just as the title of the poem implies, the poem is about the infamous game of hide and seek that every child has countless memories of playing. In this poem, Werner tells the story of a child who starts playing the game of hide and seek with great enthusiasm and excitement. However, the story plays out, we learn that he played the game a little too long and missed out an opportunity of ending the game with his friends, resulting in being left completely alone in the end. The simple game can easily be a metaphor for a person who hides away from people and friends in great energy and childishness. And when he finally decides he is ready to be in their company and be of any use or benefit to them, they are no longer there. They are no longer waiting to them. They are no longer seeking for him. So this poem, we read this poem. This was quite a long poem, okay, and the main theme of this poem was childhood. A child was playing hide and seek game with his friends, so he was very happy. He hid himself in a tool shed, and he was quite confident that nobody would find me, nobody would be able to find out where I am. And at the end of the game, he realized that the people who were looking for him, the people who were searching for him, they were nowhere. So probably those children, those boys, just returned their home back. Chapter number 3, The Meeting Pool by Ruskin Bond. Now, Ruskin Bond is quite famous personality. When I was teaching this lesson, I told you many things about Ruskin Bond, and I want you to remember all those details about Ruskin Bond. The Meeting Pool is a beautiful story written by Ruskin Bond about three friends. What were the name? Yes, Anil, Rusty and Somi, who take a pledge to return to their favorite pool after 10 years. The best part of their childhood revolves around a pool, which was discovered by Rusty. And Rusty is also the narrator of our story, and thus came to be known as Rusty's Pool. So what was another name of that pool? The another name was Rusty's Pool. As soon as Rusty discovered the pool near the ravine, he was excited to convey the news to his friends. The secret pool became their meeting joint. They indulged in activities like fishing, swimming, wrestling, and buffalo ride. The pool not only symbolized the bond of friendship between them, but also became a part of their consciousness. They decided to return on a 5th of April 1964 at midday, that is, after 10 years, to the pool again. Rusty keeps up his word and comes to the pool. Rusty was the only one who went to the pool on the scheduled day. He was disappointed that his friends did not keep up their promise. However, there is no bitterness, as he understands that with the passage of time, with the course of time, their needs and priorities changed. To his amazement, means to his wonder, he discovers another pool and another group of friends splashing about in it. He imagines himself and his friends in their place. The story thus conveys the message that life must goes on, comes what may. And just now that I told you that the show must go on. Nothing can stop us. The life must go on. So this was the story about three friends, Anil, Rusty and Somi. So there was a pool which was discovered by Rusty, and Rusty is also the narrator of our story. So that pool was also known as Rusty's pool. The three friends used to spend most of their time on their pool. Okay, and once in a childhood they promised each other that after 10 years we three will meet again at the same pool. But with the course of time, with the ups and downs of the time, the two friends were not able to keep up their promise. But Rusty keeps up his word. He fulfilled his promise. He went there. He couldn't find that pool, but he was surprised to see that there was another pool and there were another group of boys who were playing in that pool. Rusty stopped there. Rusty was watching them from a distance and he couldn't see those boys. He was actually imagining him and his friends in those boys. So this was also a very, beautiful story about friendship and bond. Okay, students, so move further. It's the last chapter. It's a poem, A Sea of Foliage by Toru Dutt. In this poem, A Sea of Foliage, Toru Dutt compares the greenery surrounded her family's garden with the sea. She says that the loveliest, however, are the lines of bamboo trees growing towards the eastern side of the garden. Just one type of plant everywhere would give the impression of dull, unvaried green, but a mixture of plants, colors, and textures would be a sea of foliage. The ocean isn't just one color, being a mixture of shades and colors. In her poem, she compares the greenery surrounding in her garden with the sea. She goes on to say that while the sea has an unchanging green color, her garden is filled with the different and exciting shades of green. The light green of tamarind tree, the deep green of the mango grove, and the grey green of the stately palm. So this is a short poem in which the poet Toru Dutt compares her garden with the sea. She says that her garden is better in every way than the sea. She says that on one side there is a sea which has unchanging green color that is monotonous and boring, but her garden has different shades of different plants. So this is a quite short story, it's a short poem, but it has a very deep meaning and it's a beautiful poem, I guess. Okay, so move further, and now I have cherry on top for you. Okay, so this is a revision test for you. And students, one very important thing that I want you to know is that from today onwards, it is compulsory for you to give your attendance in the comment section. Until and unless you will give your attendance, it will be very difficult for you. So from today onwards, you will write your name. When you will watch the video, you will write your name with class and section in the comment section, and that we are going to take a note of your names. Okay, so you will also answer these questions in the comment section. If you have any sort of confusion, problem, you can also ask that. So the first question is, who is the most proudy dwarf in the surprise party? Oh, it's a very easy answer, isn't it? Second, what is the theme of the poem Hide and Seek? Question number third, who discovered the pool? Next, the three boys decided to meet after blank years. And the last question is, in the poem A Sea of Foliage, poet compares her garden with what? So students, Please go through this video again and again and clear out your all the confusions. This was the revision part 1, and in the next video we will be doing revision part 2. In that we will discuss a few chapters of language and also the rest portion of literature section. So we will meet up again in the next video. Till then, take care, stay safe, keep studying.